beautiful friends and subscribers. I'm so thrilled to have you guys with me today for this very special collaboration pick a card. And I want to send out a very warm welcome to all of the new subscribers. And if this is your first time joining me, my name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I deliver messages through the cards that help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So as I was saying, this is a very special collaboration between myself and 4 other incredible channels. This is the SELFIE collaboration where we're going to be delivering messages from 5 different aspects of self. So I'm going to be delivering messages from your inner goddess, your inner divine feminine. Then Damselflies is going to be delivering messages from your inner divine masculine. Scarlet Serpent is delivering messages from your higher self. Leo Guidance Time is delivering messages from your inner child, and Lo-Fi Tarot is delivering messages from your shadow self. So if you watch all of the readings, you are going to have such a great idea about where you are right now on your path. You're going to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are, what is going to be coming up for you, what you have to look forward to, things that you might want to keep an eye out for as well. So I'm really excited to see what you guys think. Definitely come back and let me know. And I have 3 piles for you guys to select from. So pile number 1 is partnered with the vial of dried orchids and the amethyst point. Then pile number 2 has the mother of pearl amulet, the dried purple flowers, and this is a milkweed pod. And then pile number 3 is partnered with the purple candle with the natural cord tied around it. And then this is dried grass from my garden. And finally, this is raw rose quartz. So I'm going to give you guys a second to select your pile. I'll give you a close-up of the items and the cards in just a moment, and I will see you at your pile. Hi, pile number 1, welcome back. So you picked the dried orchids and the amethyst point. And before we get into your reading, I want to mention I'm running a contest right now. You can win a free reading with me. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, comment on this reading, and then when I reach the milestone of 6,000 subscribers, I will announce the winner on my community tab. So today is a very special collaboration, as I was mentioning in the intro. This is the SELFIE collaboration where I have partnered with 4 other incredible channels to deliver messages from different aspects of your internal self. So I'm going to be filling you in on the explosive power of your divine feminine energy, and I'll be filling you in on exactly who your inner goddess is. Then I'm going to be going into a couple more decks to figure out how this affects your love life, your career, your creative expression, as well as your psychic abilities. And once you're done here, definitely go and check out my collaborators, because you're going to be able to find out messages from the divine masculine from Damselfly. Scarlet Serpent is delivering messages from your higher self. Leo Guidance Time will be giving you messages from your inner child. And Lo-Fi Tarot is delivering messages from your shadow self. So it will be really interesting to see how all the pieces of the puzzle all fit together. And once you've watched all of the readings, definitely come back and let me know what you guys thought of this particular collaboration. I am so curious to see how everything sort of weaves together. So let's get into these cards and find out exactly who your inner goddess is and what kind of explosive power she is bringing into your life. I also want to mention that regardless of how you identify, every single person has divine feminine energy within them. So all of the messages that come forward are going to be custom tailored to you. So the very first card that you received is the Mother. Wow, that's a great start for this particular reading. Then you have 4-leaf clover, great good fortune, success, Staff, you'll be taken care of in difficult times. Shield, you need to defend yourself. Labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, enlightenment. Followed by Poet, expresses soul insight in symbolic language. Versatility, card number 3, and this has the Sun and Gemini on the card. Dandelion, wishes and determination. The Goddess Kadesh, Siren of Fire. So this is the Knight of Wands. Followed by Pyrite, prosperity, protection, optimism. And there is Leo on the back of this card, and Leo is ruled by the Sun. So that's interesting. It says Pyrite is a stone of protection, shielding us from negative energy of all kinds. It helps mend auric leaks and blocks negative energy. It strengthens our awareness and is a powerful tool for prosperity and manifestation. And the Goddess Artemis, card number 4, and it says focus. Followed by the Goddess Caradwin, card number 9, potential. Oh my God, this is beautiful. So, pile number 1. One of the most powerful aspects of your divine feminine energy is your ability to really focus on the goals that you have and pursue them without any distraction. I think that you're able to focus on what you're working on or what you're trying to achieve, and you're really able to steadfastly move towards your goals and ambitions. And this might be in all aspects of life. This might be a situation where when you want to become friends with somebody, you will do everything necessary to get to know them. You will make sure that they know you're serious, and you will call them, text them, give them gifts. And it's not in a love bombing, creepy way. It's that you know that to achieve what you want, you have to put in effort. And I also get this sense that you know who you are and what you want your life to be. And I feel like from a very young age, you likely knew what your life purpose was going to be. And it might not have been something that you articulated that way. You just knew that you wanted something specific. And there might have been people in your life that really didn't believe in you or thought that your dreams were a little too grand, because you do have this strong star power is the energy that I'm getting with the success and the Sun and Leo energy. Like, you stand out from the crowd, and I think that you just have this natural aura about you that draws people to you, and people can tell that you're going to be very successful. You also have this very captivating sensual energy with Kadesh, because she is a goddess of beauty as well as sensual pleasure. So there are a lot of people that see you as extremely attractive and would like to be intimate with you. It's that siren energy. And then partnered with the Knight of Wands, like that is strongly associated back to the energy of Artemis, where you know where you want to go and you're charging forward. You have that fire inside you. And I think that over the course of your life, you have had to defend yourself from some of the naysayers that I was talking about. And it might have felt very defeating over, certain periods of your life. You might have felt like you were sort of lost in the darkness at times. Like, what you're supposed to be doing, right? You have sort of this general sense of what your life purpose is. But some of you may not have known exactly how to get there, or how that would actually manifest in the mundane or the traditional or the, quote unquote real world. Like, how do you make that into a job? Or how do you make that something that's sustainable as you get older? And it might have been quite discouraging for you, especially if you had other people telling you, no, you can't do that. You need to get practical. You just have this overwhelming sense of optimism. And I think that you're quite creative. There's strongly this energy of creativity, beauty, and being able to speak your manifestations into being. With the poet, you're really able to express yourself, and there's strong energy here of manifestation. You know, with the success card, the 4-leaf clover card, but most importantly, Caradwen, the goddess of manifestation. She's strongly connected to magic. She had a cauldron that was able to bring anything into being. And you have that energy within you. You are literally able to focus your intention on what you want, and it will come towards you like the pyrite. But I think that you are also on a course in this particular life of the long journey, where you're being taught how to be versatile and be able to make things happen for yourself using physical means. So you have likely mastered magical skill, manifestation, using your energy to create things, to bring them into being out of nothing, right? Like a mother giving birth. You have been able to do that in past lives, for sure, with the serpent coiling around the eggs on this particular card. And oh my God, and the coiled snake, I don't know if you can see it on this card, really makes me think of the labyrinth as well. You have definitely had many past lives, and you have mastered these skills. But I think that you're at a point now in your soul's development where now it is really important that you start to master the physical skills. And so that means that you might feel like you're walking through quicksand, like you are focusing intently on what you want, and you're planting seeds, and you're being optimistic, and you're taking action, and things still aren't coming to you the way that you would like them to, or as quickly as you need them to. But it's building strength in you. It's building strength, and ultimately all of the challenges that you've had along this journey are going to eventually be birthed into the physical world as beautiful tools and you know, abilities that you can then apply to your life to sort of perfect your manifestation skills, right? Like, it's weakness leaving the body. I always talk about this. And, you know, people that like to go to the gym talk about like the pain that you feel when you're working out as weakness leaving the body. It is the same with the trauma and the pain and the disappointments and like the obstacles that we face on our road towards our success. It is the weakness leaving your spiritual self. So that when you finally get to that point where you're going to be this leader, you're going to be in the spotlight, you're going to have all eyes on you, you know how to handle that because you literally got this success card. And it makes me think that you are very likely to have a lot of people focused on you. And spiritually speaking, you need to be able to protect yourself in lots of different ways and be able to sort of like keep your cool, sort of keep calm, and sort of embrace the nurturing aspect of the mothering energy of the divine feminine, right? Because the archetype of the divine feminine in many different cultures in mythology talks about a triple goddess. So that is talking about the maiden mother crone, which is the divine feminine at every stage of her life. The maiden, where she is just coming into her feminine energy and she is excited about life, determined to try and taste everything. And then we have the mother energy, which is talking about nurturing and cultivating our gifts. And it can be talking about the energy of Mother Nature. And Kadesh is also connected to the energy of nature. Growing things. And great abundance. And then we have the crone energy. And the crone energy is the elder. The divine feminine, when she has learned all of her lessons and she's able to be a guide and teacher to others. So know that right now you're in mother energy. You are, whether you have seen the fruits of your labor or not yet, this is where you're going to be very soon if you haven't physically received your rewards. Your explosive power of manifestation will bring that into you, so abundance just starts to overflow within your life, and then you're going to be moving to a place of crone energy in the future where you're going to be the elder helping others to sort of figure this out as well. And it can take longer than we want, right? Like with the labyrinth, I really feel like you felt lost, but you're protected and everything is moving exactly the way it should. I think that lots of people see more of your potential than you see. And if you could start to remind yourself how powerful you actually are, I think that a lot of the naysaying, the doubts that you have in your mind would start to drift away, and you would be able to experience more of the joy and pleasure of life, which will ultimately bring in more of the abundance into your life. Because I think the key for you is to be authentic. You may have been trying to, have a lot of the major success by going down a conventional pathway. And I think that the key for you to truly be in the spotlight is to go against the grain. I think that you're meant to be doing something that is unique and different, and you are meant to literally be creating things that possibly people have never seen before. I definitely think that you're supposed to be powerful and strong like the huntress, Artemis. But I also think that you're meant to be sensual. So it's a balance between, the hunter, I associate that with almost like this warrior energy, but also being really connected with this, goddess of sensuality and beauty energy. And maybe you've been leaning into one over the other. Maybe there's been times where you felt quite judged when you lean into the sensual aspects of self. So you might identify as a woman, and there are lots of people that have lots of opinions about women being sensual or using this aspect of self to their advantage. And the only reason that they don't like that is because it brings you a lot of success. So you have to consistently lock that in your mind, that they are gaslighting you and that you're not going to let them take away your divine blessings, which ultimately will come to you as long as you're putting in effort, and you definitely are, but it can come to you at a much slower pace, and the road to the success and the blessings can be so rocky that sometimes it takes away some of the sweetness. Have you ever had an experience where you get exactly what you want, but you had to work for it so hard that finally when you got it, you were just kind of like, okay, this is great. It wasn't as exciting. It was it's kind of like you can take a deep breath, but there's no overwhelming joy. Well, if you can start to focus on who you authentically are, despite what other people are saying, just move away from those people. If it's online hate, block them, delete. You don't need to see that any longer. Try and push that out of your mind. Start focusing on the fact that no matter what, the universe is going to take care of them. You can focus your mind on them receiving the knowledge that they need. And if they are discriminating against you or trying to silence an aspect of your divine feminine, then they're actually also silencing an aspect of themselves. Because like I said, we all have divine feminine energy within us. So ultimately, that wound will be revealed within them, so you can let it go. You can push that aside. I know that's not easy, but I promise you, it will be worth it 100%. And you can refocus your energy and your thoughts towards your wishes and dreams and what you want to birth into the world. Maybe that's how you physically look. Maybe there are some hobby, skills, talents that you really like to do, but maybe you think they're weird or different or strange and you don't want to take a risk. Or you have this brilliant idea for a business or a podcast or a website or something else that you want to do, maybe in social media, and you're worried about what other people are going to think. What is my family going to think? What are my coworkers going to think? Well, then come up with some sort of stage presence. You don't have to reveal who you truly are. You can create your own brand. You can become a persona. But make sure whatever you're doing, you are showing the world who you really are, because that is the key to your success. You are meant to birth. And if that means family and you would like to have children, then you do that. But it doesn't have to have anything to do with the literal sense of being a mother. It has to do with creation. So let's see how this powerful, explosive, divine feminine energy is affecting you in terms of your love life. So let's see. How is this energy affecting pile one's love life? Oh my God, I cannot believe the card that just came out. You just got the Marquis de Sade. Pile number 1, you are naughty. I love that this card came out. Okay, so my friends, you like to get weird, and I completely support that. Go for it. Do it. Go there. Experiment. Follow your inner Kadesh. Do what you need to do to explore all aspects of your sensual pleasure. As long as everyone is consenting to what is taking place and everyone involved is adult, you can explore that freely. You can shake off any kind of guilt or shame that you have associated with your own divine feminine sensuality. And I can promise you that the spiritual energies, if there's been any sort of like doubts or thoughts in your mind about your sensuality because of like religious programming that you might have received earlier on in life, I promise you, Spirit created us to have these sensations and have these abilities, these functions of our body for a reason, right? It is for a reason. You are intended to explore those things. Like I said, if everyone is adult, everyone is consenting, go there. Do that without shame. Because we need to break free of all of the chains that we have placed around us, because those chains, those restrictions, especially with our sensuality, it restricts our ability to manifest, and it actually ends up distorting our sensuality and our sexuality so that it comes out in all kinds of other destructive, like very functioning, low vibrational ways, right? And that might be literally, like we shame ourselves, and then because of that shame, we do things that are not beneficial to us. Like, we drink, or we eat foods that are bad for us, or we feel just so defeated we don't take action on anything, or we don't have like relationships with people where we feel fulfilled. But it can also be in our own mind, right? That's going to change the way you think about life, the way you see yourself. Those are low vibrational thoughts, and you're a powerful manifester. So because you may not realize it, because not all of your blessings have been coming in towards you, you're not seeing the impact of that. But you need to allow yourself to express yourself in your love life the way you naturally want to, because if you don't, you're going to be sending out those low vibrational thoughts, and it's having a ripple effect, not only within your own life, it's going to bleed into all areas of your life, but it bleeds out beyond you to everyone else around you. So think about that, right? Baby steps. If you feel like you need to think about these things and slowly, little by little, sort of allow yourself to go there, then do that, right? Like, I'm just saying no judgment at all. Okay, so now let's find out how this explosive divine feminine energy is affecting your career. Okay. Michael Jordan. Oh my God. Pile number 1. You truly are master manifestors. Like, this is crazy. Michael Jordan, wow, what an emperor when it comes to manifestation. Like, iconic, obviously, when it comes to his basketball career, but he was the first basketball player, or potentially the very first professional athlete that really understood about marketing, really understood about how to make money long term. With all of the partnerships that he did with brands, like, it was unheard of. He was like the first to ever do that. And, you know, he hasn't played in so long, but yet people still speak his name all the time because of the shoes, because of the products. So you are going to have a lot of longevity. You're definitely going to be able to find grand success in your career if you're able to trust your instincts, because he was doing things and asking for things that no other athlete, I think, would have had the courage to ask for, right? Like, he was making sure that people knew that he knew his worth and he knew his star power. So you need to know that as well. And you are going to reach the highest pinnacle of success, no matter what your field is. There's no restrictions on how this could be applied. And for some reason, my eye just went immediately to his number 23, which reduces down to the number 5. Well, often in tarot, the number 5 is talking about, conflict. But the number 5 is also the 5-pointed star, which is a symbol for manifestation, because it includes all of the 4 elements as well as the etheric, the spiritual energies. So use what you have, my friend, because that is the key to your success in terms of career. Okay, so let's find out how your explosive divine feminine energy is going to be affecting you creatively. And your creative energy is, like, really important to who you are. So let's see. How is this powerful, explosive, divine feminine energy affecting pile number 1's creativity? Let's see. Ooh, you got ritual, sweet corn. The earth symbol is on this card, as well as Leo. That's wild, right? Like, Leo came out. Where did I mention Leo? I was talking about the sun. Oh, I think Leo was on the back of the pie, right? So it's also the number 10. So 10 is one of those numbers that refers to the beginning and the ending of cycles. And you've got lots of imagery here talking about you going through cycles, going through things in past lives, definitely cycles in this life. And you need to really start focusing on ritual. Ritual can come forward in a lot of different ways to get creative, but you need to have some sort of process. Like, what gets you in the zone? If you are athlete, for example. There's so many different athletes that have like their little superstitions. There's certain things that they do, whether it's a piece of clothing that they always wear, or whether it's a certain chant or a mantra, or they have a ritual of something that they do that they're ensuring success. You're being asked to do that as well. Now, you might also want to start literally manifesting your creative blessings coming into you, or the solutions that you need, or you're going to start manifesting the materials that you need. You can manifest anything that you need to achieve your goal. So you need more courage? Ask. Your guides are a little bit limited at times because you have free will. So if you don't want the help, then they can't actually step in and force you to do anything or shift or change anything. So you have to constantly be sort of like affirming that you would like assistance, and specifics are very beneficial to them. And you can start manifesting the raw materials you need, or the money, or the doorways opening up to you, or the feelings that you want to have. You can get into a ritual where you say you're a writer, you're a poet. You write in a particular journal, and you start that flow of consciousness, those thoughts coming into you a certain way. Like when I am doing a reading for people, even before I start your readings, I have a ritual. There are certain things that I do, and that is an indication not only to myself, but also my guides in the universe, I'm open for business, right? Like we are here, we're grounded, we're ready. Let's start channeling messages so all of my beautiful friends can receive the information that they need. So it looks like that's what you're being asked to do. And I think that that's when all of these blessings are going to come in, like multiple, because corn is a symbol of multiple blessings coming into you at rapid fire. It could be like literally explosive. Think about popping corn. It is corn. Like naturally, popcorn is corn. So do that. And also make sure that you're grounding and centering, and you are cleansing yourself of other people's energy to sort of separate you from sort of like their frame of thinking, especially if you're in the public eye, because we're energetic beings. So we're constantly absorbing energy from other people, and we can have energetic cords that attach us to other people, even through the internet. You don't even have to meet these people, and it can happen. You can have an energy cord attached to you if you don't have proper protections, just because someone's watched your video. So make sure that you're grounding and you're shielding and you're protecting, and, you know, have a salt bath. There's plenty of things that you could do. Make sure you're wearing crystals if you feel like that is beneficial to you. Cleanse your space using, you know, like sage. These are some sage. I don't know if you guys can see this. These are my sage bundles that I made from my harvest from the summer. You can use just traditional incense. You can light candles. There's all kinds of different things you can do. But that is at the core, and that is of your creativity, and that's just going to open up those channels, and everything is just going to flood into you, and then it's just going to be like explosive for the, you know, things that you're able to create. And then, you know, after that, there's going to be a reward that comes forward to you. So now let's find out how this powerful, explosive, divine feminine energy is affecting you psychically. Like, how does this, woo, Opham, nature, my God, because Kadesh is a nature goddess. That is so wild. And Artemis is also connected to nature. She loved to hang out with the animals in the forest, and in her mythology, she's constantly in the woods hanging out with humans, and, you know, that's her domain. So ground, get into nature. That's going to really help you to get channeled messages. So a lot of people don't even realize how powerful nature can be and how much information you can gain. Like, I personally find that nature is my greatest teacher. when I am out in nature, even if I'm in the middle of the city, I'm just walking around outside, I'm paying attention to the nature, not the people, I get insane downloads. The epiphanies that come to me, I just can't deny it. And it's this, you know, this energy that literally comes from the collective unconscious of all of nature. The quantum field that is connecting all of us. I am tapping into the healing energy of nature, and I just find that it's so receptive, you know, like you're going to be able to get so much guidance from that. And you can do it in so many different ways. So you're naturally already connected to that energy, without a doubt. That's overwhelming from this reading. So go out, walk outside, pay attention to what the birds are doing, or what kind of birds are around you, what kind of animals are around you, what are they doing. You know, if you're seeing a squirrel all the time, that's a symbol talking about planting seeds. Squirrels plant more trees than any other animal on the entire globe. You know, like that is directly talking to you about, now it's time for you to plant those seeds. Start thinking about what you want. Like, those are the signs. Don't dismiss that. You know, you can lose out on so much time and so many opportunities by second guessing yourself and thinking, am I just reading into this? Who cares? Try it. See whether it works out for you. If it does work out and you get the success that you want, the doors open to you that you are hoping to find, who cares whether the message really was coming from spirit through that squirrel or not? You got what you needed and it worked out for you. So that concludes your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely want to know what you guys thought. Put a 4-leaf clover if you picked this pile. That will give everyone an opportunity to see who else is on this same path. And of course, it's going to help you to enter the contest as well. And I, of course, would love to know what your thoughts are, and feel free to write me longer messages. I love chatting with you guys in the comment section. And definitely go and check out my other collaborators. Like I was saying at the beginning, all of their links are in the description below. And if anyone is interested in working with me one-on-one, please go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my booking information and services are available there. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, which is a guidance session. I use tarot and I do channeling, and I help guide you through whatever you're struggling with, giving you clarity. And I also do Reiki sessions where I can help cut all of those cords, get rid of that energy that's blocking you up. And I do distance sessions. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, I can definitely work with you. And I also do channeled messages from your spirit guides and past life sessions. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to email me. I would be happy to answer your questions or help you figure out what is the right service for you. So I am sending you all so much love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 2, welcome back. So you picked the milkweed pod as well as the mother of pearl amulet and the purple flowers. And before we get into your reading, I just want to mention I'm running a contest right now. You can win a free reading with me. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, comment on this reading, and then when I reach the milestone of 6,000 subscribers, I will be announcing the winner on my community tab. So as I was saying in the intro, this is a very special collaboration between myself and 4 other incredible readers. We are exploring the idea of self. So I'm going to be channeling messages from your inner divine feminine, filling you in on who your inner goddess is and what powerful energy she's bringing into your life. I'll also be expanding on that and filling you in on how that energy affects your love life, your career, your creative expression, and your psychic abilities. And then when you're done here, definitely go and check out the other readings because they're going to fill you in on other areas of yourself. So Damselflies is going to be channeling from your inner divine masculine, and we all have divine feminine and divine masculine within us. So definitely check out both of those. And Scarlet Serpent is going to be channeling messages from your higher self. Leo Guidance Time is going to be bringing messages from your inner child, and Lo-Fi Tarot is going to be delivering messages from your shadow self. So once you've watched all of the readings, come back. Let me know what you thought. I'm really excited to see how all of the messages blend together and what you guys think of this collaboration. So with that said, let's get into your cards and find out who your inner goddess is. So your first card is the Sustainer, followed by Quill, get back to the basics. Scales, keep your life in balance. Feathers, someone you know is undependable and insincere. Successful career, a happy working environment, pay raises and promotions. The Order card, number 6 is featured on this card with the Moon and Virgo. Prosperity, a prosperous business with riches and success. That's interesting because there's only 2 cards, I think, in this particular deck that talk about career and prosperity, and you have both of them. Foxglove, friend or foe. Pioneer, light attribute is passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. And the Goddess Bridges. Now this card is labeled Alchemy, but in the traditional tarot, it is the Temperance card. And the Crystal Tanzanite. The keywords are meditation, visualization, awareness. And the astrology associations are Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Scorpio. So you may have strong placements associated with those signs or potentially Virgo, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a possibility. And we all have all of these signs in our chart anyways. So Tanzanite carries the vibration of ancient wisdom and spiritual knowledge. It aids in visualization and is powerful for meditation and connecting to other realms. It connects the throat and third eye, allowing for expressive vision work. Beautiful. And your second crystal is ametrine. The keywords are optimism, balancing, soothing, intuition. And it says Gemini and Libra on this card as well. So there is a good chance that Gemini and Libra are strongly affecting you because you also, specifically Libra, because you also got the scales, which is the symbol for Libra. So yes, we have ametrine combines amethyst and citrine, creating a powerful connection to physical and spiritual realms. Amethyst draws in divine guidance, while citrine incorporates these energies into your life and helps in creating harmony with others. And citrine is also a crystal connected to abundance and manifestation, bringing about more fulfillment in the physical world. And you've got the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune and abundance. This card is number 28, which reduces down to the number 10. Okay, pile number 2. This is really, really exciting. So overwhelmingly, there is a lot of energy linked back with prosperity and abundance. With the successful career, you literally got the prosperity card. You got Lakshmi with fortune, which is beautiful. It looks like you're a very innovative thinker. You have a lot of creative abilities, a lot of creative ideas. I think that you are a very organized person. You are a team player is the energy that I'm getting as well. And you also really pour your heart and soul into everything that you love. If it is your work, you pour your heart into that. If it is your relationships, you are just as passionate, and you have all kinds of things that you absolutely love to do. Maybe these are literal like hobbies and creative endeavors, but maybe these are self-care techniques. There are things that make you feel whole and you pour your whole heart into that. You also have strong intuition, and many of you might have the gift of clairvoyance, especially with this tanzanite, and the creative energy, because visualization is featured on this card, and that's talking about being able to see. Clairvoyance is the gift of clear sight, and it is a strong tool that can be used for manifestation. If you can visualize yourself literally living or doing the thing that you're trying to create, you will add more power to your manifestation, because our thoughts become things. So if you can 100% convince yourself that not only you can have what you want, but you already do energetically, it just hasn't materialized physically for you yet, you will be able to change your whole life. And I think that there are certain things that you actively manifest. Like, you potentially have a very successful career, or you have dreams and ambitions that will take you in that direction. I think that it's going to work out for you because you have a combination of being able to focus your mind, meditate, visualize what you want, and truly manifest, as well as the creative ideas. And that comes from the pioneer, as well as Bridget, because she's a goddess connected back to craftsmanship. So not only do you have the desire and the determination to actually take action and do the thing that needs to be done, which also comes forward with this sustainer, but you have the skill and ability to make something beautiful. Like, there is quality to what you're doing. And I think that along with that, you also are organized enough to keep things methodically moving forward. So if this hasn't already started to shape your life so that it looks the way that you want, I want you to know that that's part of your journey right now. I mean, literally, the Sustainer card has two hands crafting something out of this ball of clay. It's slowly forming this ball. So you're going to be able to like craft the life that you want, but you do need to be able to maintain balance. So there's the possibility that you might even have your North Node in Libra, where that's where you're working towards. You're working towards that balance and the energy of Libra. And because of that, you might sort of tip the scales one way or another. And I am very well like acquainted with this energy because my North Node is in Libra. And I find that there are times where, because of my focus and determination, I can invest too much energy into one area of my life and other areas of my life can suffer. And it can be this, you know, back and forth balancing act where I'm working towards maintaining equilibrium. And you may have had that as well. There might be a part of you that wants to dedicate all of your time and attention towards your business. And maybe you have done that. Maybe you've been focusing a lot of your attention on your business or your career, and then your home life suffered. But there's part of you that's really drawn to the traditions of home and homemaking. And that comes back with the Sustainer as well as Bridget, because the Sustainer is often talking about not just doing the things that need to be done to sort of maintain our life, but it can also be talking about being nurturing and being a mother and doing the caregiving. And Bridget is connected back to the home and hearth. And that might have sort of pulled you in two different directions, feeling like you had to sacrifice either some of your career or some of your time at home, or it might be a divide between the focus and determination that is required for you to get ahead in your work environment versus this part of you that maybe is connected back to Virgo, where you want to just be a hermit and you want to like sort of like withdraw into your home and you want to, you know, focus on self-care and you want to read the books that you love and eat the food and you want to live sort of a slow life. And I think that you're going to have to sort of find that balance. Now, I think partially what's going to get you there is recognizing who is a friend and is there in your life with the best of intentions and who is a foe. This might have been a challenge for you over the entirety of your life. The sustainer, as I said, is talking about the things that we need to do to sustain our life, but they can sort of be thankless tasks at times. Like the quilt, get back to the basics. It's like the basic fundamental things that we need to be able to just keep moving forward and sort of keep things balanced and secure. So that would be things like making sure that you have food in the refrigerator and meals are made and the house is clean and the laundry is done. Those can be very thankless tasks. And all of the things that I just mentioned are all associated with the home and family, but you can equally have certain responsibilities that are related back to your career, like making sure that like there is coffee in the coffee maker, or there's paper in the printer, or that, you know, the bills and things are paid and things are organized. It's those like maintenance, like making sure that the reminders for meetings go out, that kind of stuff that no one, you know, walks up to someone who sent out the reminder for an email and says, thank you so much. Oh my God, without you, we wouldn't have been able to have this successful meeting, right? Like, but it is fundamental to make sure that everyone is there, or the person that organizes it in the first place. Like a lot of those kinds of tasks, just people take for granted. And another example of this that's on a larger scale is movie making, right? So the people that typically are really well respected and well rewarded for the success of a movie are the director and the actors. But there are hundreds, sometimes thousands of different people that are all working towards the creation of this movie. They are part of the sustainer energy. And I think that you're part of that. You willingly are doing a lot of these tasks because you know how important they are. You don't expect people to thank you, but I think that sometimes you deserve to have more respect, because I think you put in more effort than the average person. You're the person that's making sure that, you know, the plants are watered so that the seeds can germinate. And you may find that you start to feel very overwhelmed or burdened, because it's kind of like the frog in the boiling water, right? You put a frog in a pot and you slowly start to turn up the heat. The frog won't notice the temperature change and won't jump out before the water starts boiling. So you might not realize how burdened you are or how out of balance you are until you're sort of cracking under the pressure. And if you're surrounded by a lot of people that have been there because of that sort of tendency in you, like they're sort of taking advantage of you for that, they won't be there for you when you finally need them. And I think that that's what you're going to be going through, sort of an adjustment related to. You're going to be going through some sort of transition where possibly your own intuition increases. You're able to see your friends or foes, and you're going to be able to really like see their motivations, understand like the intention behind their words and actions, so that you can start to focus your energy and your attention on the people that are helping you. We want a whole bunch of people that are helping, a lot of other sustainers that have a common goal, and you're all focusing on the prosperity together. Therefore, everyone can find the fulfillment from whatever it is that you're working on. Because ultimately, it also seems like part of your true success will come from altruistic acts, because there's a reason why you have this tendency where you want to do things for other people. Now, up until now, it might have been part of your identity. There might be part of you that thinks, oh, well, I like to do these things because people appreciate it and it gives me some sense of purpose and it makes me have some sort of place in their life. But people should want to be around you because you're amazing, not because of what you're doing for them. And I think that we have so often had this idea that we have to do something in order to deserve love, or even like the basics to survive in life, that we don't even see how out of balance that is. You are worthy of love and appreciation and comfort and support and all of the abundance that you could ever imagine, just because you exist, because you are part of the same source energy that makes up everything else. And so that makes you sacred. You're sacred, and so is everyone else around you. And if you can see the light in them and they can't see the light in you, then they are just taking, and it's imbalance. And that's partially what's going to get you to a place of real empowerment and fulfillment. Like Bridget and Lakshmi are both connected to celebration as well, like in different ways. Bridget can be connected back to really like strong, like celebration of, you know, like kind of like connected back to like Christmas and these like grand celebrations, festival type energy, and coming together with people. And also she's connected back to the earth. And so you might have this strong desire to be part of the party, but then you also might have this energy where you want to withdraw, and that might also sort of pull you in more than one direction. And that might be another thing that you need to sort of balance out. And there might also be an energy here where you could sort of lean into Lakshmi and learn something about sort of balancing and stabilizing like the overindulgent energy that can sometimes come with Bridget, because there are stories of her where she would like basically completely lose control. Like it's almost the shadow energy of Bridget, like drinking to the point where like she is completely out of control. And so if you leaned, and partially some of that might not have anything to do with like overindulgences in like intoxicants or anything that's addictive, but it might be a desire to really live life to the fullest, almost leaning into like the devil energy from traditional tarot. So things that make us feel good, but once we keep doing them, they actually become destructive elements in our lives, like seeking approval from other people, wanting to look a certain way, sort of curate ourselves to a point where we actually end up losing ourselves. Whereas Lakshmi, this beautiful goddess of like beauty and abundance and fortune, she didn't discriminate against who she blessed. She, in fact, actually preferred to hang out with people that had nothing, because even though they might not look rich, they were rich in spirit, and they were able to really embody like the celebration of being together, coming together. So both Bridget and Lakshmi both have that energy of celebration connected to coming together with other people, but sometimes it manifests in different ways. So you need to really be mindful of who is around you, why they're there, what role do they play in your life, and why are you attracted to potentially some of the people that seek to take from you? Is it partially because you haven't learned to love yourself the way you are and see your own worth, that might cause you to want to impress people? And that energy can come out with Virgo. And I'm well acquainted with that because I'm a Virgo sun. So there is energy within Virgo and the shadow elements of Virgo where there is this desire for beauty, but it can lean too far into things needing to be just so, and that there is a right way of doing things and a wrong way, and it can be sort of this elitist energy. And those are things that I always keep in the back of my mind as a Virgo sun. Like, I want to make sure that I am not allowing, you know, my ego to take over and influence me in some way or another. So keep that in mind when you're really starting to evaluate the people in your life and deciding what role they're playing and why they're in your life. The other thing you need to also be mindful of is possibly this energy where you are too harsh and critical of self, because also with Virgo, there might be a tendency for you to be a perfectionist and really be hard on yourself, where you're doing more than enough for yourself and others, but you're nitpicking about things and you're feeling like you're either not being sincere with the things that you're doing, you're not giving enough, or you are not being dependable. Like, this might be a situation where you promise that you're going to help somebody, you know, complete some task, but then you hurt your back and you can't. And then you beat yourself up because you're not able to help them. Well, you had a legitimate reason. There's no reason to feel bad, but it's this balancing between, like, potentially, you know, looking at the shadow element. You might want to go and see Lo-Fi Tarot's reading after this to explore this, but it might be this need for the approval of others, and you need to really sort of cleanse yourself of that. Like, I'm going back to looking at Bridget, and of course her symbol is the Bridget's cross, which I've got one right here. This is a Saint Bridget's cross. It's a symbol of cycles, shifting and changing, moving through the seasons, and it can also be a protective talisman to protect your home. So you might need to sort of withdraw and go into hermit mode and sort of think about who you are and what you want, and really start to focus on maintaining the things that are working for you and focusing on what you actually want to create in the future, because you're much more powerful than you realize, and you can have so much more abundance than possibly you currently have, but you need to be able to focus your attention on that. And that might require you take your attention away from possibly addictive tendencies, however they manifest for you, or people that are draining you, and you really focus on the things that are going to bring you this prosperity, no matter what it looks like on the surface. Remember Lakshmi and her choice of the people that she spent time around or preferred to spend time with. It didn't matter what they looked like on the outside. It was the abundance of spirit that was most important to her. Okay, this is gorgeous. So let's find out what is going on in terms of your love life. Like, how is this energy affecting your love life? Oh, wow. Okay, this is wild. You got Sigmund Freud. Talk about the duality. Okay, so, well, Sigmund Freud is considered the, you know, godfather, the grandfather of modern psychology, and had all kinds of theories about human behavior. Now, modern students of psychology, although they see that he has his place, there is something to be said for the fact that he was a white man, and he was studying from that perspective. So some of his theories and concepts around the motivations of why women specifically did certain things and why men did certain things, I don't think are necessarily accurate to, you know, at least a woman's perspective. But there is something to be said for this card indicating that your subconscious is definitely influencing the decisions that you're making in terms of love. So some of these people, this friend or foe, might actually be love partners. You might have found that because I get the sense that you likely are quite attractive, and that doesn't mean that you are fitting into a traditional beauty standard or you look like a model or anything like that, but you care about what you look like. And I think that you're authentic and unique. And that might not mean that you're dressing up every day, but when you like are on, you're on. And that might just be your energy, right? This like Marilyn effect type energy where it's like when you walk into a room and I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, you got Marilyn energy. So that means that when you walk into a room and it is time to connect, it is time to turn on your Lakshmi energy. It's like a light switch and you just turn it on and people are like magnetized to you. And so you might have attracted partners to you that really love the way you looked or the kind of the beautiful package. And then they wanted to put you in a box. I get that with the sustainer as well, because there is this golden box. They want to put you in a box. This is your role. This is like you're an action figure, like a doll, and you're just going to play this role and you're not going to go beyond that. You're not going to be multi-dimensional. We don't want any multi-dimensional stuff. No, 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 no. You can't be complex and unique like a crystal. No, you need to be a box. I want to be able to understand all sides of you and there be no complexity. And that is just not the case. And you need to sort of consider that. Think about where your attraction is coming from, right? Now, there's obviously going to be just a natural like draw based on your hormones and based on like what you physically find attractive. But beyond that, why are you drawn to certain people? And it's a question you have to ask yourself, right? You have to explore that. And then you might find that your eyes are opened once you start looking for the solutions, because you have this psychic ability. Once you start asking those questions, the answers will be provided and it will feel like, you woke up for the first time, right? And all of a sudden, everything that seems so confusing will start to make sense. And you might go through sort of a period of regret or pain, confusion, sadness, realizing that some of the people that you thought you had a deep loving bond with were actually using you for some reason, or even if they weren't aware, right? Like I don't want to paint everyone that is doing this as a monster. Lots of people do monstrous things and they have no idea why they're doing it, because they're also being guided by their shadow energy and being guided by some of the subconscious stuff that's going on. It's not about demonizing those people. It's about understanding what your motivations are and why you're being drawn to certain people so you can change it, because ultimately you're meant to have great success. You're meant to have prosperity, not just in business and not just in like material things, but in love as well. And I think you're going to have a novel approach to either your love relationships or the partnering that you have in the future, because this light bulb literally has a filament that is a heart. So there is something unique and different that you're going to be doing with love. It could be a situation where you find someone in an unexpected way, or the person that's perfect for you is actually entirely different than the kinds of people you had always been going after. And you might find that it brings so much more excitement to your life. You might have been actually inadvertently, in terms of love, placing yourself in the box, feeling like you like a certain type of person. Therefore, you need to sort of be like what their deepest desire is and trying to be that, versus I'm going to be what I want and I trust that the universe is going to bring me the person that matches my energy, right? Because you're not looking for just anyone, you're looking for the right person. So trust that the universe is your very best matchmaker. And maybe you're already connected to someone and this is a matter of following the desires of your own heart, dressing the way you want, in terms of love, asking for the things that you actually need versus sort of adjusting what you want to match what someone is willing to give you, and then trusting that they are going to match your energy. Because you can't control what another person is doing, but you can definitely influence them energetically so that they can rise up to their highest capabilities, right? So instead of them dragging your energy down, you're pulling their energy up. Beautiful. Okay, now let's get some info about how this energy is going to affect you and your career. Let's see. Oh, wow. Sergey Brin. So, one of the co-founders of Google. So, wow, you, like in terms of business, your natural divine feminine energy is going to literally give you the answers to everything. You know, think about, like, I don't know whether any of you guys are able to remember what life was like before Google. Oh my God. It was dramatically different. I mean, even before the internet, life was dramatically different. And you're going to be bringing that energy to the workplace. You're going to be giving in very insightful and intuitive guidance to whoever you're working with or within the industry that you come into, that's literally going to change the way business is done. And you're going to be the go-to that people come to for answers. That could be a situation where you're working on a team and you become a team leader, eventually potentially a department head, or you become, you know, vice president or something. And you are someone that people really trust and rely on, but then also potentially giving the answers that truly like either set you guys apart and you're at the top of your business, or like it just changes everything. It just changes everything. This is beautiful energy. Like if you aren't already at a place that you want to be in terms of business, start believing who you really are, right? Because overwhelmingly, you have the ability to create that abundance. You have the ability, if you are, for example, staying at home, maybe you're not even working right now, right? It's possible that some of you aren't working at all because there is a lot of this home maintenance or homesteading and a lot of the family energy that came out. So maybe you're at home and you have a dream about something that you want to do. Maybe you want to write a book and you're not entirely sure how you're going to be able to find the energy or the time or the resources to do that. You're going to focus your mind on, I am writing my book. Everything about this experience has been so effortless and the words just flow onto the page and I'm so inspired every single day. Is it happening yet? No, that's not important. We're not going to be thinking about, you know, the like day-to-day you know, order of how you're going to get this done. What we're going to focus on first and foremost is getting your energy and excitement up. Then every single day you're going to sit down and you're going to write for 5 minutes, or you're going to research your business, or you're going to start dreaming about what your product line will be and you're going to write that stuff down. You know, your thoughts have to be backed up with action, but you have to at least plant this seed and be very, very, very positive about what the outcome could be before the universe is going to start aligning things for you so that you can have more freedom and the resources to actually bring it to life. You also might need to start asking for the universe to help you shift responsibilities onto some other people, or find new novel ways of approaching things in terms of like your day-to-day, so that you can have more time to focus on your business, right? Because Google also simplified things for people. Instead of having to go to encyclopedias and all these different resources and go to like multiple libraries, like you could just go to one place. So you might need to ask the universe through meditation, like, that use your psychic abilities to manifest. You might need that in order to get some of the solutions. And for some of you, it might be the opposite of what I just described. Maybe you're working all the time and you want to have more time at home. So it's the same principles, just reverse everything. You're going to be looking to ask the universe to help you find novel solutions so you can spend more time at home. Or, you know, come up with novel solutions that bring in more innovation so you can accomplish more in a constructive way. But ultimately, your business is going to be a huge success, and it has a lot to do with your divine feminine energy. So let's find out how this energy is going to be affecting your creative expression. How does the divine feminine energy affect the creative expression of pile number 2? Ooh, okay. Oh, wow. This is wild. Okay, so the first card that you've got is Desire, and there's the earth symbol on this card with lettuce and Cancer and the number 3 and the moon. So you have the moon here twice. Oh my God, and this card has also got Cancer. So we've got Virgo, Aquarius, Cancer, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Scorpio. And this is the emotion card also with earth. So that could also be, oh, and the moon is on the 3 moon cards. So definitely strongly connected to the divine feminine. So it could also bring in Taurus and Capricorn as well for the earth symbol. So we've got 3 and 4, and both of these vegetables are green, which is connected back to the heart energy, the heart chakra. Wow. Okay. So in terms of your creative expression, you have to listen to your heart. You have to listen to what your dreams are. What is your intuition guiding you towards? Even if other people don't get it, they don't understand. Possibly there's people that have heard your ideas and they're like, why would anyone want that? Who would be interested in that? Either they are so small-minded that they can't possibly see anything beyond what has already been created. And if that's the case, they're not innovators, so they're not going to ever be able to help you with that. Or they're jealous and they want to shut you down and they want to control you, because if you do whatever it is that you're interested in, maybe you're not going to be doing all kinds of sustainer tasks for them. So you have to think about the motivations behind what they're doing. And there is Palo Santo on this card. You might need to cleanse yourself of either people's ideas that are not supportive, or you need to literally cleanse yourself of them. It might be a situation where you put your work online and you have people say, oh, I hate this. Oh, that's so ugly. It was so much better before. Just block or delete those people. You don't need that kind of energy around you. And just take action, right? Just take action on whatever it is that you're interested in doing. Plant that seed and start working towards your goal. It won't always work out. Like, I go back and I look at some of my readings from like the beginning of my channel a year ago, and I didn't know anything about lighting, and it's super dark, and like I didn't know anything about how to adjust the sound either. I mean, the quality of the video is not good. But the messages, I think, still stand up. So I might even actually start reposting some of them so you guys can see that, like, I've gone through a progression, and you will go through that as well. And hopefully my content will get even better in the future as I learn even more about how to do this. And you'll go through that as well, right? You're going to go through this transformation, right? Going back to Lakshmi with the 28, that's number 10. That is the end of one cycle, the beginning of another. And for you, it might also help with the creative expression to start working with other people. Maybe take a class, because number 3 is about collaborating and groups. And then we also have that celebration group energy with Bridget and Lakshmi. And then number 4 is talking about the foundation that you're building. So get out there, try different things, allow your intuition to guide you, really eliminate anyone from your life that might try and hold you back or tell you you're not good enough. You can protect yourself from them and close yourself off from them, but you want to stay emotionally present and open to the people that will understand you, as well as to yourself. Don't take on any of that hate, and you are gonna find that this leads to the success in all other areas of your life, because a creative expression, you can be creatively expressing yourself in career and in love and in self-care. There's like, creation is fundamental of all areas of our life for any kind of growth. Okay, final pile. Let's find out how your divine feminine energy is influencing your psychic abilities. Geomancy, patience. Wow. Okay, so what this is saying is you have very, very, very strong psychic abilities. This particular, like the geomancy, this, I don't know if you can see that series of dots, that is an ancient form of divination used to foretell the future. So the thing about that is you have these abilities. You have all kinds of messages that come through to you, but because I think you're on this sort of like journey through some of your shadows, journey through some of your karma, it's taking longer for things to manifest than they actually will once you overcome some of the things that are holding you back. Once you get through that, you're really going to be able to start manifesting very, very, very quickly. But right now, part of the lesson is also learning patience. And it's definitely really difficult, especially when you really start getting into the techniques and you really get on top of things and you seem very organized. I mean, I really relate to this file. I'll check after to see, once I record everything, then I ask my guides to tell me which file is mine. I bet you anything this is one file. So, patience is really tricky, because sometimes when you say patience in manifesting, you think, oh, well, am I going to have to wait a couple of months? Sometimes you have to wait years, and that is really, really frustrating. But ultimately, it's all in divine timing so that you can have the massive rewards and the outcome that you actually want. They want you to be prepared. Shining light on all of the shadows makes you stronger. No one can use those shadows against you. Nothing can trigger you, because you are working towards something that's going to be quite big. Like your career card was like Google. Like, that's huge. Like, I mean, like, whatever you're doing is pretty important. So just trust in the process, trust where you're being guided. So that concludes your reading, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. This was such a pleasure. Let me know what you thought. And maybe, let's see, maybe you guys could leave a feather in the comments so that I know that this pile was for you. And then, of course, it also lets everyone else know what pile you selected, and they can see that there's, you know, lots of you. You're all like on this same pathway. But of course, it's totally up to you what emoji you might want to leave me. That will enter you into the contest, and I love reading your comments. So if you feel like filling me in on your thoughts, I would love that. Definitely go and check out my collaborators' readings. They're incredible, and I think you're gonna get a lot from them. All of the links are below in the description box. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me, definitely reach out. You can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my services and booking information are available there. I do tarot card readings, spiritual coaching, and that is basically a meeting on Zoom where I walk you through and give you guidance on anything that is going on in your life. I use channeling as well as tarot, as well as my own knowledge to help guide you forward. I also do Reiki sessions, Reiki healing, and that's distance, so it doesn't matter where in the world you are, I can definitely work with you. And I do channeled messages from your spirit guides and past life sessions. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I would be happy to fill you in and help you find the right service for you. So have a lovely day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 3, welcome back. So you picked the purple candle, the rose quartz, and the dried grass. And before we get into your reading, I just want to mention I'm running a contest right now. You can win a free reading with me. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, comment on this reading, and then when I reach the milestone of 6,000 subscribers, I will announce the winner on my community tab. So as I was saying in the intro, this is a very special collaboration between myself and 4 other incredible readers. We are exploring the idea of self. So we're going to be delivering messages to you from a different aspect of yourself. I'm delivering messages from your inner divine feminine. I'll be filling you in on who your inner goddess is and what powerful energy she is bringing to your life. And I'll be exploring how that energy is going to affect you in terms of love, career, creative expression, and psychic abilities. And when you're done here, definitely go and check out the other 4 readings. So if you go to Damselfly's channel, you're going to be able to get a message from your inner divine masculine. And we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energy within us. So no matter who you are or how you identify, all of these messages are going to relate to you and your experience. And Scarlet Serpent is channeling messages from your higher self. Leo Guidance Time is channeling messages from your inner child. And Lo-Fi Tarot will be delivering messages from the shadow self. So all of the links to their readings are below. Check those out. Come back, let me know what you thought, because I think that it's going to be really interesting to see how all of these messages come together, and I would love to know your thoughts. So let's get into your reading and find out who your inner goddess is. So the first card that you received is the Village, followed by the Vow. Eternal child, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. The eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Seahorse, family matters. Butterfly, a change for the better. Protection, strong protective magic for the family and home. Spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. Egotism with Mars, Leo, and the number 5. Daffodil, beginnings and rebirth. And She Who Watches, this is the Hag of Earth, so that is the King of Pentacles. Your crystal is petrified wood. Grounding, stability, calm. And Leo is on this card. That is wild. So you may have strong Leo or Virgo placements in your chart. Petrified wood is a stone of transformation. It carries a safe, secure, and calming energy. It helps to slow things down and enhance patience. It grounds us and anchors our spiritual self into the physical realm. And finally, the goddess Freya, radical acceptance, card number 15. So that reduces down to the number 6. So this is wild. There is strong energy that is related back to the family and different roles within the family. Freya, for example, is a goddess of war, beauty, but she's also connected to the energy of motherhood. Then we have the eternal child here. The seahorse is actually a symbol that goes back to the divine masculine and father energy, because the male seahorses actually take care of the babies. And then we've got the King of Earth here as well, the King of Pentacles, which is more masculine energy. This is really interesting. Then there's also strong family energy that's coming through from spiritual energies with the angels and guides coming forward. And then the village is talking about your entire community, and obviously that would include your family. So at the core of your divine feminine energy is actually expressing that through all of these different roles in different capacities where you are creating community. That is part of, you know, the power and strength of your divine feminine energy. And Freya also has that energy. She, like I said, she's a warrior goddess, but she's connected to the energy of motherhood, and also she's a beauty goddess. The power of her is that she had her own hall. So we all know about Odin's hall. She's a Norse goddess. So when Vikings would die in battle, they would have the option of going to Odin's hall to spend the rest of eternity with him. But Freya also had a hall, and she would take slain warriors to her hall as well. So it looks like you have your own community, your own kingdom that you're creating, where you're going to be using your divine feminine energy to triumph over obstacles. It looks like you're going to be really using this energy to help ground yourself and help people to understand all of their power. With the spirit card, we've got the 6-pointed star here, which is talking about a balancing of energies. It is all the elements, all the alchemical symbols superimposed on top of each other. So earth, air, fire, and water. It can also be talking about divine masculine and divine feminine energy, especially with the way it's depicted here, because the triangle pointing up would be a reference to divine masculine, and then the triangle pointing down is divine feminine. And the number 5 here as well is also talking about alchemy and using all of the energies at your disposal. So Freya is also connected to magic as well. Very, very magical, very intuitive. If you're interested in the craft, you likely have had energy come forward or call to you that is rooted in Freya and her abilities. Seeing things like falcon feathers, like connecting back to this eagle card, are all connected back to Freya. Rabbits, that's strongly coming forward as well. So what I'm saying is it looks like you're going to be going through this metamorphosis, this transformation in your life over the course of your entire life, but really focusing on what's going on right now. You have some sort of vow that you have made that's connected back to the divine feminine, where you're going to be playing this parental role, or in a way, actually, I think you're going to be playing all aspects of us, like as humans, and embodying all of those, empowering all of those aspects, and potentially really cultivating your magical skills so that you can help others feel grounded and stable and calm in changing times as we work through troubles. And we cannot deny that we are in a state of conflict globally right now. From my personal perspective, I believe that globally the tower is falling for humanity. But when the tower falls, then we rise up like the phoenix. So although it can kind of feel like the end of days, like there are days when I'm like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Like, what is happening? And I get the sense that you are my magical, mystical, witchy people, or at least you're open-minded to the spiritual and you're interested in this stuff. And if you're not there yet, you're moving towards that energy. And I mean true magic, because you have so much earth energy here. And it makes me think of the goddess Circe, who is also rooted in the origin of magic. In Greek mythology, she is considered the one that sort of created the literal crafting of magic, whereas Hecate is connected to the crossroads and being able to see between the veils. Circe was the one that used plant medicine to literally craft magic and intention. So if you're not already interested in this stuff, you might be working towards that. And you are going to be helping people to find their community, to find their place of solitude, and a place for them to literally find rebirth, right? It says beginnings and rebirth. To move away from this egoic energy and away from the divine masculine. The sun is connected back to the divine masculine as it's been, right? We all have divine masculine within us. And the sunflowers here on this card also are connected back to the energy of the sun and the divine masculine. And you are going to be showing people how to, and the daffodil is also connected back to the divine masculine. You are very much like Freya, who's so powerful and really embodies so many characteristics that traditionally people see, at least now in the world, as masculine traits, but they're not. That's just how they've been labeled, so that we could be controlled. So people could be sort of compartmentalized and put, like, this is your role, this is your title, this is what you're supposed to do. You're a woman, you're supposed to be a mom, you're supposed to stay at home, you're supposed to be nurturing, you're supposed to be demure, you're supposed to be little. We want you to be tiny so that you're not a threat to anyone. And we don't want you to make any money, and we don't want you to speak out. You're just there as the supportive partner in the background. And no matter how awful things get, zip it. Don't say a thing. And the women that don't do that, the witchy women, the ones that were persecuted, that had everything taken away from them throughout history, the burning times, seem to be calling to you to start coming out. They've been watching you, the ancestors, like literally. She Who Watches is a myth about a woman who is an elder and a leader in her community. And she was warned, she was told that things are going to change. Things are going to get very dark. They're going to get very, very hard. How are you going to protect your people? How are you going to watch out for them? And she asked, help me. How can I make sure that I'm always there watching over and protecting my community, my loved ones? And she was changed into stone. And so she is ever watchful, always watching over. And you have that. Your ancestors are watching over you. And they're going to transform you. Like this, when I brought up Circe, like one of her abilities was to reveal the true nature of somebody. You know, to be able to cast a magic spell so that whoever you truly are inside, the illusion all falls and you are revealed for who you are. So she would change people that seemingly looked beautiful, but they had a black heart, into horrible monsters, or men into wild boars or bears. And I think you're going to be doing that too. Like there is something inside you that not literally, you're not going to literally be changing people, but you're going to reveal them for who they are. You're going to help people to triumph over the things that oppress them. And look at this. Oh my God, the egotism card. This is a rooster, the male chicken, with a human face. This is wild. Oh my God, you're definitely going to be revealing people's ego. And with the Mars symbol here, also going back to the divine masculine, specifically, you're going to be showing the divine masculine for who they are. This might be a situation where you start to reveal how one-dimensional our view of the divine masculine is. Like, why does it have to be only, you know, why is there only one flavor, you know, of divine masculine energy? Where are our beautiful seahorse masculines, right? Like, and it's a spectrum. Everything else in nature has a spectrum, right? Everything else, even the days, you know, going from day to night. The sun and the moon are constantly shifting and they are changing position. Why are we so fixated on things being only one way? The butterfly transforms from the caterpillar into the butterfly. And even through that phase, there's so many different aspects of this metamorphosis. So you're going to be calling attention to that and helping people to rise above, like the dove here, to find peace, peace within, peace without, right? As within, so without. As above, so below. You are going to help people to see things from a different perspective, to rise above. Even this card, the Eternal Child, and talking about the determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, and seeing things with fresh eyes. There's a spirit guide with this child. You're being guided by spirit, and they're chasing after butterflies. You're going to be guiding people forward to see the beauty and the oneness, and to see, I cannot believe how many butterflies are on this card. There's like a dragon. I feel like magic is happening right now. Like, the other piles were incredible, but there's something going on in this pile that I was not anticipating. And it's very magical. Like, there is this gorgeous dragon, this adorable dragon that's just been birthed from this egg, and it's reaching out to a butterfly. And then it's the profile of the butterfly here. And then the Eternal Child reaching out to the butterfly. You're helping people to find their own internal childlike nature, the wonder, the excitement for life. You know how excited children are to just explore their environment and just see what happens, and they see the magic. There's a reason why there are so many children that are able to see spirits or communicate with energies that we don't see. People that are not open to the spiritual shut that down, and they think, oh, it's just their imagination. That's not real. No, they're open, and they're actually the most authentic. That's why animals love children. There is just something about their energy. That's why there are so many myths about animals and spiritual energies protecting and caring for children. It's because they're a vibrational match. And you're going to open that up inside yourself, which means that you're likely going to be healing some wounds. I definitely think you guys need to go and explore the other readings. More than any of the other piles, you need the other readers, because the higher self is going to guide you to what your true vow was, right? Like, this is your life purpose. There is a vow that you have made on a spiritual level, probably soul contracts that you have made, that you are going to fulfill in this life, that's directly connected to the divine feminine energy. But it also embodies the divine masculine energy, because Freya is so symbolic of that, as well as all of these other symbols that are screaming out divine masculine. Then you've got the inner child, and then there's the exploration of the shadow self that's going to help you through that metamorphosis. That's the darkness, but the caterpillar has to go into darkness, into the cocoon, to then eventually emerge and then be able to see things from a higher perspective, which is exactly what you need to do. So definitely, 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 please go and check out those other readings, because I think they're going to give you so much more guidance on where you're going and what you need to be doing next, so that you can sort of do all of this for self, and then you're going to be somehow helping other people go through this, and all of this is protected. Maybe you're going to be helping each individual that you come across find the protection inside self, because we all have that ability through our intention and the focus of our thoughts. If we focus on the worst case scenarios, and oh my God, like I said, some days I'm like, oh my God, there's another chemical fire. There's something else happening. I'm like, oh my God, like, it's the apocalypse. And that might be true. But we're born for this, right? We are here for a specific reason right now, to help people through this really difficult time. And that can feel really overwhelming. But we are here to see the light. So we know, or if you don't know yet, you are going to know, and I'm going to fill you in on parts of this, that we have to focus on things turning out in a positive light. And then we have to take every step we possibly can. Every time we get an opportunity to choose the life that we want or the world that we want to live in, we have to be courageous and take that step forward. We have to understand that we're infinite beings and everything is being guided and all of this is happening for a reason. And we are, like, you literally are, your actions are being guided by spirit. And so you've got to listen to your intuition and take those steps forward. If that is giving money to someone who asks for money on the street, do it. If that means that you need to share a story or someone's post on social media, do that. If it means volunteering or, you know, assisting a friend or loved one with something, do that. Read the books, listen to the movies, watch the television programs, listen to the music, do all of the things that are guided to you and try and keep it as high vibrational and positive as possible, which is part of the trouble, right? We need to make sense of what's going on in the world and be clear on where the darkness is without letting it influence and control us. It's not a matter of, I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't hear it, I'm not gonna talk negatively, I'm not, like, no, this isn't happening, this isn't happening. No, it is happening, but we're not gonna let it control us. And that's where you become the warrior, because Freya is the leader of the Valkyrie, literally riding across the battlefield, collecting the souls of the dead. So you're a warrior. So, not to get too intense, but I know you guys can take it. My collective, the people that come to my readings, are gonna change the world. You're gonna change the world. So let's find out how this energy is affecting your love life. Let's see. How does this amazing, powerful, explosive energy, when I wrote that in the thumbnail, I knew that this energy was going to come forward, and boy, did it ever. Greta Garbo. Wow, this is interesting. So Greta Garbo, Hollywood celebrity from the golden age of cinema, 1940s. She was an immense beauty and very skilled actress, but she's famous for wanting to isolate. She basically became a recluse, and people would see her for her daily walks in New York City, but she really just sort of pulled herself out of the limelight. So there might be an energy for you in terms of love where you are, oh my God, I love you guys, honestly. You might not be interested in love at all. You might be thinking, my God, what is going on with the divine masculine right now? Like, they are like out to lunch. Like, what is going on with them right now? I can't deal. I can't deal with it. They are going through some serious shadow work, and they're still in the phase where they're denying and they're the victim. And I don't want to get tied up with that. And you're just completely withdrawn. Now, if you're partnered, this might mean that you are just pulling yourself out of like even thinking about love, because you're pleasantly partnered, you're with the right person, and you're focusing on what's going on with you. But what's coming forward is that if that's the case, no matter what your situation is, if you are not dating and you just don't want to be bothered because the options out there are toxic, is the word that just came forward. Toxic, or they just seem like too much work. Then you may start to need to think about love in a new way, right? Because we're seeding the light. We are trying to envision the world we want to live in. So if you believe in quantum physics and you believe that you can like sort of redirect your timeline and you can sort of, you know, move through interdimensional space through the power of your own thoughts, then you need to start envisioning a world where love partners that are going to be healthy for you exist. And you also need to start envisioning the kind of love that you would want. Like Freya didn't live with Odin, although they have been romantically linked. she didn't live with him. She had her own thing going on, right? Like, maybe that's what you need. But if you are already partnered with someone and you're happy and healthy, then you need to start seeing how you got there, because there are people that need to start talking about the healthy side of romance, how to get to where we want to be. So the women and the men who are, you know, feeling like the partnerships, the people, I should say, I shouldn't even, you know, lay it out that way. The people that are out there that are not partnered, that are seeking something specific, start dreaming and manifesting that. Then the people that are, please start talking about how you got there and what a healthy relationship looks like, so that we can start focusing on that and we have some guidance. All right, so now let's see how this beautiful energy is affecting your career. Oh, interesting. You got Enzo Ferrari. So his family owns the car company, the luxury automobiles, Ferraris. So this was a family established business that grew and grew and grew, and they were the first company that created luxury automobiles at this level. So it looks to me like, in terms of your career, once again, we've got this strong family energy coming forward. So you may own a business or be working with family members, meaning like you might work for a family member's company, or you might be starting sort of a cottage industry is what just came forward. So you are starting an industry with your family members or potentially your community, because remember, family is our soul family. Of course, it's your genetic family, but it's more than that. So it's anyone who you are gravitating towards, like Freya. You're selecting the people you want to be in your hall. And a cottage industry is something that it's your grassroots, like, activism is what just came forward. That's really interesting. So for some of you, you might be actually doing activism and you're trying to change something, you're trying to create something, and although maybe it's not a traditional career, it's under the umbrella of work for you. And then for others, it is some sort of craft or business that you're doing to bring opportunity to your community. We've gone so far down this pathway where everyone assumes that they need to get a job with a large corporation, which means that all of these corporations have all of the power and they own all of the resources, and there's no oversight because they have so much power. They can buy politicians. And who is looking out for us? The only way that we can change things and balance things out and empower ourselves and sort of have healthy relationships is to create more sustainability in every aspect of our life. So people need to stop like struggling to be able to meet their day-to-day needs and be able to make the money that they need. We should all be able to have a certain level of luxury in our lives. The luxury might be lots of money, right? But luxury could, in terms of career, it could mean you're making enough to have a beautiful, abundant, fulfilling life full of all of the pleasures and the experiences that you could ever want. And you're able to do that by focusing on creating something you love. So what your true desire is, your talent, your hobby, you invest in that, that becomes your full-time career, and you actually make enough money. You know, I think that we've all gone down this road of capitalism for so long, we don't realize that it was ever any different. And it was different, and it can be different. If we all had our own businesses and we were all doing our own thing, we would be able to support each other. It might be something entirely different than what we have right now. Maybe it would be more co-ops where people are coming together that have different skills and talents, and they're collaborating together. And profit is divided based on what each team member is contributing, and it's very fair and even. Now, I don't know how you guys are doing this, but it looks to me like you're working with other people. You're creating some sort of industry or a business where people are going to feel like family members, you know, like there are plenty of businesses that are starting now where the employees actually have shares. They are owners in the company. And wouldn't you be more motivated to make successful products and really talk about your business if you partially owned the business versus what we have now? And it looks like it's going to be very successful, and it's going to bring a lot of luxury. So to me, it seems prestige, a lot of money, and lots of sales, but also in a very healthy way, balanced. Lots of creation in the physical world is coming forward from your reading overall too, with all of this earth energy. Okay, let's find out how this energy, your inner goddess, is affecting your creative expression. How is pile number 3's inner goddess affecting their creative expression? Okay. Fertility, watermelon, and this is insane. It has Leo. You're meant to be a leader, 100%. You're meant to be in the spotlight with all the sun energy. It's just like, this is overwhelmingly Leo. So look where your Leo placements are in your chart, because that is going to give you a really good indication of where your strengths are and where you're going to be applying this divine feminine energy and where you're going to be able to shine. So definitely look that up. So you also have, what did I say already? Fertility, we've got Leo, the water symbol is on this. So that's talking about your emotional body. It can be talking about all of your intuition as well. And it's the watermelon, and the watermelon is a symbol of abundance. So this fertility, birth, the mothering energy I was talking about before, you're giving birth to new ideas. And you also had the sunflower here, which is also talking about lots of ideas, lots of abundance, lots of things growing. The watermelon, the same thing, but there's a certain level of sensuality that comes along with this. There's going to be an aspect of this creation that's very rooted with divine feminine energy and sensuality. To me, it almost feels like the watermelon is the divine feminine in its traditional sense, the way people sort of typically think of feminine energy. And then the sunflower is the divine masculine. So you're embodying both aspects of that. And then we've also got the number 29 here, which reduces down to the number 11, which is a master number. And it's talking about your life purpose. This is your life purpose. You're meant to do this. You're meant to do something that's really important, really great, to like help people rebirth themselves. There's literally an angel emerging from the water, which is like a symbol of like a baptism. You're purifying them of what was, and you're helping them to find the gem inside themselves so that they can release the expectations that they have and be able to be creatively free. And of course, every time we do something for the collective, we're doing it for others, we have to start with ourselves. The vibration emanates from you. So you have to become creatively free. You have to start embracing both aspects of yourself, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, whatever it is that you want to do. So if you are sort of holding back, creatively expressing yourself in terms of your own sensuality, you know, maybe this is behind closed doors. Maybe this is in the bedroom with others or by yourself. Do that. Explore that within yourself. Also, start to explore your emotions. Be free with those. Don't feel like you have to hold back the masculine type traits is what I'm getting. So you might have found like, you know, you're a leader. You're a leader. And if you were born as a woman, or you identify as a woman, there are people that will want you to step down and they don't want you to be a leader. They only see leadership as men, specifically old white men. And you're not that. And that's exactly why you have this tendency and these abilities, because you're meant to shift that and change that. So you have to awaken that inside your own creativity. You know, dress in a way that makes you feel powerful. And create things that help embody this energy. All of your emotions, all of your sensuality, use your sensuality towards what you're creating. So maybe you're a dancer, maybe you're, you do makeup or hair, and you're doing things that are creative, but fall under that umbrella of things more associated with the divine feminine. Push it, do it more. Just really start exploring this and do it in the public eye. So if you've been thinking, I need to have a social media platform, but I'm afraid, I don't want people to see me, I don't want maybe you have a traditional job and you don't want people to see what you're actually interested in or who you truly are. You have to stop being like this silent observer. Like, start speaking out, start showing yourself for who you are. Now it's time for you to go through the rebirth. And things are going to dramatically shift and change for you. Okay, so final card. Let's find out how this energy is affecting your, your psychic abilities. So you got arrow, focus. That's wild. So this reminds me of Artemis as well, the huntress. She is connected to the wild hunt, and she is connected to pointing the way forward. There is something inside you. You already know where you're meant to go. Your intuition is telling you where you need to go, where the next leg of the journey is, and you are going to be going through the battle. Look at all of these arrows. You're going to be going through a battle. It is scary, but you're not alone. I will be there with you. And I'm afraid too. I'm afraid too, but we have to just keep going. You're not alone. We just have to focus together and we will get through this. And we have all of our ancestors working with us as well. You know, they're all planting seeds inside our minds about where we need to go. And it might not to you if you're not very spiritual or you haven't fully embraced your spiritual gifts yet. You might feel like the concepts or the ideas or the future that you see seems too grand, it's too large. Like, how could you possibly be this person? And you don't know the steps forward, and it's scary, and you kind of just want to like closet away. You want to like, you know, go back to bed and pull the covers over your head. I get that, but remember that different seeds are being planted in different people's minds and hearts. You're not alone. So the more you start stepping out of the shadows and doing what you need to do and showing yourself as a leader, the more you're going to see that there are other people doing it as well. And then you'll come together with them. It doesn't happen overnight. Like, it takes a lot of time. I've been doing this for years, and it's still a lot of me doing it by myself. But you will get there, and we're working towards something bigger. But it's they keep giving me images of Lord of the Rings. Like, I look at the village here, and it's kind of like, here we've got Mount Doom off in the distance, and we've got a hand with the ring. You are Frodo, but Frodo wasn't alone. He had Samwise with him. And at the beginning of the journey, he had Legolas, and he had all kinds. I'm not going to list all the characters off, but he had like hobbits, and he had, you know, Aragorn, and there was all kinds of different individuals with him, helping him, that had different skills. And there are portions of the journey that you're going to have to go alone. Most of that is going to have to do with the shadow aspects, where you're going to be, you know, looking at your own weaknesses so that you can overcome them and empower yourself. But you are definitely going to have help along the journey, and probably sooner than you think. So that concludes your reading. I hope that you enjoyed this. This was so powerful. I'm kind of in shock because I definitely was not expecting this for pile number 3. I'm kind of blown away. So let me know what you think. Put a gem, the diamond, in the comments. So then everyone who picked pile 3 will be able to see that they're not alone. We're all on this wild, wacky journey to Mount Doom together. But they win at the end. If you haven't seen the end of Lord of the Rings, they win. It's a happy ending. So, yeah, put that in the comments. Definitely go and check out the other readings. I think that they're gonna give you so much insight into what's going on for you. And all of the links to my collaborators' readings are in the description box below. And I would love to work with you guys. If anyone is interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my services and booking information are available there. I do tarot card readings. I do spiritual coaching. That's a one-on-one session over Zoom where I help give you guidance. I use tarot, I channel, I help you basically, you know, work through whatever is going on in your life. And I also do Reiki, and it's all distance healing, so I can work with anyone around the world. And I also do channeled messages from your spirit guides and your ancestors, and I also do past life readings. Sometimes, it's such a long list, sometimes I forget what I even do. But if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. I'd be happy to fill you in. And the contest as well. So I'll be announcing the winner when I reach 6,000 subscribers. You just have to comment, subscribe, and you'll be entered. So I love you. I am so grateful to have you in my life, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care.